all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must want this way. Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. The dog palm, mess around, find out.
What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Dude Show. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. I am joined today by a special guest, SMU College assistant coach, which is actually where Larry Brown coached, and where Kate Cunningham's older brother can play college ball. And right, but he's also an NBA player development coach for Pistons guard Daniss Jenkins, who was on the show last episode, and I've been following very closely. Watching for a couple years now. So that resume belongs to none other than the man himself here with us tonight, Jeremy Hart. Jeremy, we appreciate you pulling back up to the show, bro.
Much love, man. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, man. So guys, before we get started, I just got something I want to show you guys. I want to share this with you guys. Happened to me the other day, right? So for those who remember, a couple months ago, Ahmed and Asar Thompson were featured on this cover of Slam magazine right here, right? Slam posted this on X. And I saw it and I sent a reply out, tweet to it. I didn't think anything of it. But a few days later, I saw this right here. And I discovered that my tweet was actually featured in this issue of Slam magazine. I wasn't even aware of it. I got a DM from a follower. Shout out to Amar. And he showed me the screenshot. So I had to order a rush copy of it to see if it was actually legit. And it actually was. So I just wanted to show you guys that. Got the feature from Slam magazine. Shout out to them. We trying to move on up, man. So I wanted to show you guys that first. Now, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I had no idea, man. He just sent me a DM like, hey, bro, you know you in Slam, right? I'm like, huh? Who was where? So it was cool to get to see that and and definitely share with you guys. So also want to shout out you guys who are here in the chat. Detroit Drew, I see what's going on. Shiv Guy, what's going on. So yeah, definitely, guys, we got a treat for you guys tonight with Jeremy with us. So Jeremy, man, we had you on the show earlier this offseason, along with our guy, Charles Hill, right? Who was Ron Holland's development coach. Yep. That's your boy. And that was a lot of fun, especially since y'all go way back, right?
Yeah, we go way back. Been knowing Charles a long time.
Yeah, that's a good dude, man. Shout out to Coach Hill, man. But we had to invite you back with the season on the horizon, so we appreciate your time. So let's get into it, man. Yeah. So you're an assistant coach for a great basketball program at SMU, man. And you're also, like we mentioned, an NBA player development coach as well. So just kind of talk to us, bro, about your journey and how you got to be where you are today.
Without going down a rabbit hole, just short and sweet, I started doing player development back before COVID hit. I was getting ready to retire from playing professional basketball and had a few people ask me about training their kids. I took on that opportunity just for the love of the game and wanted to give back to the kids because of what basketball had done for me. And, those kids, we started to grind together and, they got better over the years. And a few of those kids became high-level players. I went back to school, told myself I would go back to school. My college coach, he talked me into going back to school told me that I needed to get my degree, that he saw me coaching at a high level in basketball, whether it was high major in college or at an NBA. And through prayer, my wife and my mom, I went back to school for 2 years. I was doing nothing but training guys like Daniss and Trey Johnson and a few
Mm,
other guys. I was training these guys while going back to school. Got my degree May 7th, 2022. And the opportunity popped up
congrats.
for me. Thank you. And the opportunity popped up for me to be a grad assistant at Kansas State University. With no making no money, but just the opportunity to get my foot in the door. And I did it. I was there for 1 year. We went to the Elite Eight. I was able to help our point guard Marquise Noel become the Bob Cousy Award winner,
Mm,
he went on to be All American as well. And well, we went to the Elite Eight and had a great year. And from there, that's kind of how my college journey started. And 2 years later, I ended back up at home in Dallas, coaching at SMU.
man, that's incredible, bro. Especially considering it just shows the love for the game. You know, a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
people, it's easy to say, yeah, I do this for free. I do this for free if you're getting paid to do it, you know, but
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
actually forced to still have to pay the bills and things like that, like when life is still a thing,
yeah,
right? And you
yeah.
got to take care, take care of your family and things like that. I could understand how that could be difficult. But once again, manifestation and the love for the game that you had, you were blessed because of that for sure. So shout out to you, bro. I didn't even know that. We had talked about it a little bit, but I'm glad I asked you again because you gave us some more detail for sure.
Yeah, man. I tell people all the time, man, chase opportunity. Don't chase money. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you chase opportunity, the money will come. You good at what you do, the money will come.
Facts.
I started my coaching journey doing player development with guys like Daniss, and we just put our head down and we was grinding, not knowing what was next, but just love for the love of the game. And I wanted to see him get better. I wanted to get better as a coach. So, just as much as people think I helped him become an NBA player, he has helped me
Mm.
become a really good coach as well.
Well, that's how you know you got a good combination when iron is sharpening iron for sure. So
No,
that's
yeah.
yeah, that's cool to hear. We're gonna get to Dennis a lot more. Before we get to him, let's talk about a few other players you've worked with because you've worked with some other NBA guys, right? Can you speak to some of those guys you kind of worked with and how you got a chance to link up with them?
Like I said, I worked with Trey Johnson for a long time, way before he was an NBA player. Obviously,
Right.
from a young age, into his senior year of high school. Guys like Mike Miles, Jalen Wilson of the Brooklyn Nets.
Mm.
These are some of the guys I work with from a young age. Dorian Finney-Smith is probably my first NBA client that I work with. Started with Dorian some years ago. He actually trusted in me because he saw the work I was doing with Daniss and Trey and these guys, and he
Mm.
trusted me to work with them. And he started to get better, and he was like, "Hey, you're my trainer now." So uh, I started working with Dorian, and I think, I'm thankful for Doe because Doe gave me the opportunity to work with him and help him get better at a crucial time in contract years of his NBA career. And he gave me that opportunity, and that opened doors for other guys around the NBA to want to come to
Mm.
Dallas and work with me as well. I work with right now. I work with Ryan Nimhard of the Mavericks, AJ Lawson from Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
Um, Man, I can't even think of everybody off the top of my head. Dennis Smith
Dennis
um,
Smith. Oh.
of the Mavericks. I'm missing some guys.
You said
I
Ryan
said,
Nimhard. Is
yeah,
that Andrew's little brother?
yeah. I've been working with Ryan this summer. So we got it in this summer. Actually had
Okay.
a chance to work with Andrew a couple times while he was in Dallas. So
Nice.
that was pretty cool. Andrew's a really good player. So
Yeah.
yeah. So the clientele has really ramped up, and it's a great opportunity for me to continue to work with these guys. Torrey Craig is another guy that I work with
Mm.
right now this whole summer. So like I said, it's just been a blessing, man, to start something and build it up and to see where it is now. And obviously, a lot of that credit goes to the work that me and Daniss
Mm-hmm.
put in because nobody knew who Daniss was.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's and is going into his second year in the NBA.
Bro, like you could speak for a lot of people when you say that a lot of people didn't know who he was. Especially with him now starting to really elevate from an exposure standpoint as far as people really because the game was always there. So we're gonna get to him for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about him. How did you initially link up with Daniss, bro? How did you guys relationship start to kind of form as you guys were knowing each other get to know each other basketball wise?
So, like I said, I was working with a couple of high school kids, and younger kids, and I went to a fall league basketball game here in Dallas. And man, I'm watching. I go to watch a kid, but it's multiple courts playing, and I literally turned to a court and I saw Tink playing, and I'm like, man, this skinny kid got some game. Like, man, and he's like 6'3" at the time. He was a hooper. And I'm
Mhm.
like, you could tell he had game. And so I think I approached him after the game, just chopped it up with him, told him that I was a fan of his game and, wanted to know more about him. And from the first time that I talked to him, I just saw how much of a sponge he was and how much he loved basketball, and he was just eager to have someone in his life to guide him and show him what it takes to be a really good player. And I asked him, like, hey man, I don't know if you're working with anybody, but I love to work with you, if you want to. And he was like, heck yeah, coach, let's do it. And I told him where to meet me. We started working out, and it's kind of been, you know, it's been like that for 5 years.
Wow.
And through the ups and the downs, we've always held strong together. And the things he's been through in his playing career, I've been able to be there for him and just be a guy for him and a backbone for him. He's always had game. I just been, just someone to guide him along his journey to help him, become, on the straight and narrow and be ready for his moments.
Right. So you just kind of approached him like, hey, bro, you would be
Yeah.
in good hands if you worked with me. Basically, you kind of just shot your
Yeah.
shot, kind of like, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, and he had told me that he actually reached out to a couple other trainers or notable trainers around the Metroplex, and they
Okay.
and they kind of shoved him off and told
Mm.
him didn't reach back out to him or whatever. And so from that, he just told me, like, man, coach, I've been looking for somebody to work with me. So that's kind of how it went. And I didn't know he was going to be an NBA player. I'd be lying if I said I knew he was going to be an NBA player. But what I did know was that he was a young, hungry young man who had his head on right,
Hmm.
who loved the game of basketball. And me and him shared something in common, that when I played, I was a fierce competitor. I was nowhere near as talented as he was, but I was a fierce competitor. And
Hmm.
I saw it, and when I see that in someone, I can see it because I had it. And I could see that
Mm.
he was a fierce competitor too. And I just knew that he could be a good player at some point in his career
Right.
if he stayed the course and trust the process, and that's what he's done.
Got you. Got you. Sarah Boss says, wow, that's an eye for talent for real. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody
Uh,
doesn't have that eye to be able to just see it like that. You know what I mean? So,
Man, I appreciate that, man. I don't know if I got an eye for talent, or if I got lucky and God blessed me with a young man who needed me in his life just as much as I needed him.
mm, hey, bro, two things could be true, you know?
No doubt, no
For
doubt,
sure.
no
Yeah,
doubt.
man. Listen, bro, the chat can vouch for me, man. I've been saying I haven't known, been around him and watched him nearly as long as you, but I've been saying for about 2 years now that I thought he was a certified hooper with
Yeah,
real NBA ability. First, you talked about how you saw him, you was like, man, this little skinny kid can hoop. That's kind of how I felt from afar
yeah,
when I saw him in summer league last offseason, not this past, but last offseason. He just jumped off the page to me. He just had a little something extra that other guys on the court really didn't have. And so the things that I noticed about him is that he really didn't have any glaring weaknesses. He was a really good, complete, all around player. Of course, you can work on things, right? But he didn't have anything that he just couldn't do. He was a good defender, good offensive playmaker, good scorer, unselfish, floor general. You know what I mean? He takes care of the basketball. He don't turn the ball over. Super athletic. Like he just kind of had a very well-rounded game when I watched him. And it's crazy, bro, because a lot of people laughed at me. They laughed at me when I said back then. It was like, all right, start this. It was like, all right, start this video, start this tweet.
yeah.
When I would show some confidence in them, and they would laugh at me and say, I want him on his team, and they was like, oh yeah, okay, but he's continued to prove me right too. So it's
Yeah,
just a
well,
credit to that hard
what I,
work you guys put in.
yeah, what I can tell you, I remember when he signed with Iona, I was going to Kansas State to be a GA. And I actually started to tell people then too who asked me. I would say, man, I think my kid has a chance to be an NBA player one day. And guys would tell me like, "Oh, now you just saying that because you train him and you
Yep.
work with him. I don't know, I don't think he's that good. He's okay." And but what I knew, I mean, I'm in the gym with him every day. I know him inside and out, so I knew what he had in him that a lot of people couldn't see from the outside. So
Mm,
once he got to Iona, I kind of felt like, all right, he has a real shot
right.
because he has some things that a lot of players don't have, and me and him always talked about years ago, like being able to be good at a lot of things as a point guard and not have any glaring weaknesses. And I think he could shoot before he got to the NBA, and he could shoot a little bit last year. But I think this summer he's really taking another jump in his jump shot, and now he's shooting the ball like an NBA player
Mm,
should. Like every time he shoots it, you think it's going in. So I think that's where the next stride is going to be in the NBA. Him being able to make open shots amongst doing all the other things that he does with his defense and
okay.
energy and playmaking ability and stuff like that, and showing that he
Gotcha.
can play with those other good players on that team. Like Cade and Karras and all of those big time players that the Pistons have.
Right. Right. For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. With NBA talent, he's gonna really show what he can do as well. They're gonna make the game easier for him.
Yeah.
And so your mantra is literally trust your work. We've been talking about work for a while here. So,
Yeah.
right. So you kind of spoke to it a little bit, but just what are some more of those things that you guys have worked on this offseason to prepare him? You talked about the defense, the shooting. Is that it, or is there some other things you've worked on?
We worked a lot this summer on finishing through contact. We
Okay.
worked a lot on finishing around the basket, being more crafty. We also worked a lot on shooting off the ball, with him not having the ball in his hands, just being capable of not having the ball in your hands, being able to make a shot. I won't give too much of the sauce, but I will
For
say
sure.
sometimes, when he come in the gym, I have him to go through pre workout stuff and get himself warmed up. And once he does, we will go right into shooting threes. Because I told him,
Mm,
I was like, hey, you're not gonna start for the Pistons. You're gonna come off the bench. So we a lot of times we go
mm.
into workouts, we go right into shooting, as if he's checked right into a game. And so I
Mm.
think that has.
I think we lost Jay for a second. We'll give him a second. He might be in a bad area. He's actually in the car right now. There we go. We lost you. We lost you for about 10 seconds. So I heard you saying that you pretty much want to get him prepared to be able to get his jumper off and knock it down as soon as he comes into the game, basically.
Yeah. So I said a lot of the times I would have him come in the gym and we would literally go right into shooting once he got warm, because he's gonna come off the bench for the Pistons and he got to be able to make a shot,
Mm.
without getting his body warm or whatever, and just having that mentality of the first time I get an open shot in the game, I'm gonna shoot it with confidence, and I'm gonna knock it down for my team.
Right. No, I think that's a great tactic, bro, because like you mentioned, it's different. We've seen a lot of guys in the NBA when they're used to starting and they end up being a six man or coming off the bench. They struggle in the beginning as far as being able to get straight to it when they come into the game because they're used to their routine. Right. So
Hmm.
it's just dope to hear that you're already getting him in the routine already of getting into that, so he won't have to kind of adjust to that on the fly while he's in the league. So I think that's dope to hear, just how you guys are really showing the level of preparation and seriousness you're approaching this with, for sure. I think that's pretty dope.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
Absolutely,
appreciate
man.
that.
For sure, for sure. So, like I mentioned, man, I know a lot of people are still sleeping on Daniss. But after watching him, for me personally, last year, like I mentioned in summer league, I had to find more tape on him just to kind of watch his game more because I really liked his game. And we're gonna take a look at, we're gonna showcase him a little bit and just kind of show what he can do for anybody who really hasn't gotten the chance to get a feel for the game, for his game. So let's go ahead and check that out.
But I had to fix some of my mechanics and get some more reps up. But one of the things that I told Coach Hart about when he started first training me is that I wanted to be elite. So to be elite, you got to have all three levels. I always had the mid-range. I could always get to the basket. I could shoot. But I wanted my floater. I wanted to do different little things. I wanted to have my touch all around the court. I wanted to have my mid-range. Not only my mid-range, but my three. and different things like that. So working with Coach Hart, especially after this season I just played, I told him all the things that we worked on, it really paid off. My touch was amazing this year. I made a lot of different baskets that I didn't normally make early on in my career, and I felt like I was well polished this year. So that was the big things that I took away from working with Coach Hart. And he, like I said, he's a great mentor, great coach. Like I said, he pushes you on a lot of different things. He always willing to work. You tell him when you want to go. You want to go every day, he want to go every day with you. If you want to say you ain't going today, he go the next day. He just tell you the times. And he always there, always pushing you and developing you, and always talking you through each thing so that you know why you're doing it. Not just to make it seem like he just putting you through a workout. He telling you how it's gonna help you and different things, or how it's gonna make you play better. So those things is really what Coach Hart helped me on in my game and developed me in my career.
Continue to be something that will be impressed upon.
They tryna mess with your mind or something. They tryna play with your grind or something. They wanna see you back off of your calling, yet they tryna mess with your shine or something. For lack of a vision, and people could perish, commit to the climb, even when it hurts. Only two things in life you can control is how you spend time and how hard you work. So hard work, God first, yeah. Hard work, God first, yeah. Hard work, God first, yeah. To the day I'm in the dirt, yeah. Jesus Christ is Lord, yeah. I know who I serve, yeah. When my life was hard, yeah. All my prayers were hard, yeah. So hard work, God first, yeah. Hard work, God first, yeah. Hard work, God first, yeah. Today I'm in the dirt, yeah. Jesus Christ is Lord, yeah. I know who I serve, yeah. When my life was hard, always been there, my prayers were hard, yeah. She said, see, you work too much. Since I was a kid, I knew I was the one. I hit the pain, but I keep showing up. I can never go back to the way that it was. Consistency is key, and that's what I'm on. Be disciplined now, I'll regret when it's gone. Fail and get up, that's the way to get strong. I built an altar and gave it to God. Made my best song and it still hasn't dropped. Went on a run and it still hasn't stopped. Picked up the gun, but it still hasn't shot. Just getting started, I'm still warming up. He's coming back soon, so watch the clock. Watch the throne, watch the spot. You are what you think, so watch what you want. My life is a movie, I watch it a lot. And we just went month to month to month to month to month on the way to the top. Woke up this morning and made a decision. I'm never gonna quit till I live what I saw. I do this for you, you're just like me. We don't see much cause we got this dream. And we put in the work that nobody sees. We walk through the hell that nobody leaves. They don't understand why we suffer a fuck, but we never gonna stop till the job gets done. I'm not afraid anymore, I check the score and I know that we already won. They don't understand why we suffer up front, but we never gonna stop till the job gets done. I'm not afraid anymore.
Man,
Man.
no, you're all good, bro. So, first of all, shout out to you. That's a huge cosign. The things that he was saying about you. There's a few things when I first saw that stood out to me, and maybe you can kind of just touch on them individually. I love how he said that you explain everything you're doing. You don't have guys just doing drills just to do them, but you're explaining, because you're not always going to be there. So you're explaining and helping them understand. And once they understand, that kind of probably gives them more initiative to want to go ahead and do it, as opposed to, all right, let me listen to coach. So I think that's cool that you actually break down and explain from a teaching standpoint why you guys are doing the drills that you're doing. What kind of made you want to actually start doing that?
I just felt like as a teacher of the game, like that's what player development is. I felt like, man, when you working with someone, like as a coach, you're trying to help them get better. Like they need to know why they're doing something. They need to know when to do what you're teaching them, and so that way when they're playing, their instincts can kick in, and
Right.
and they don't have to think so much.
Okay, great answer, but that makes a lot of sense. He also mentioned how, regardless of their schedule, you always gonna be there. So if they want to come every day, you'll be there every day. If they want to come every other day, you be there every other day.
Yeah.
So that's, once again, that's a testament to the game. Like you just love being in the gym, obviously. And I see you out there moving around a little bit, bro. I saw you out there in the court kind of moving around a little bit. I saw you kind of get into it.
Yeah. Availability is the best ability.
Facts.
So when you working with players, you're like, man, you want guys to stay in the gym and to trust you and to want to work with you, be available. That's the best thing you can be, is being available. So
Yeah.
I pride myself on that from the time I started. And whenever my guys hit me and want to work out, I prioritize around my personal life and try to make myself available for them as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure, man. And the last thing I wanted to highlight was just different things I noticed in this game. His finishing ability with his left hand through traffic, bro. A couple of times I was like, was that the same clip? And it wasn't. Like he's done that multiple times. You know what I mean? Against different teams in different games. I thought that's really important for a point guard, for a lead guard, to be able to get to where he wants on either side of the court, and then being able to penetrate and finish with either hand just gives you so many more opportunities. So, like I mentioned, he doesn't really have any. A lot of guys you see, they're great. They're great with their lead hand, but not so much with the offhand, things like that, or they're not a good shoot, whatever. But there's really not much he can't do on the court. You ask him whatever you require of him, he can pretty much get it done at that spot. So that's why I kind of agree with what Mega Hustler said right here, that he should be the backup point guard. He said, yeah, Daniss should be the backup point guard. Sasser is better when he's playing with the point guard besides him. And Sasser's a great point guard too. These guys are all great. But I think because we know that Karis LeVert, he's going to probably come in at times and play point as well. I think that fourth guard should probably be Daniss because we have a greater need, I believe, for more point guard play as opposed to shooting guard play. So I would love to see him get that opportunity. And then too, the fact that he's already familiar with the crews. We know the crews and the Pistons. I think you told me that they run a lot of the same stuff, do a lot of the same things. So just that familiarity too will really give him an advantage and really be able to run this squad. And as far as, let's go to the draft for a second, but we talked about the draft last time you were here. And I personally still can't believe that he didn't hear his name called. And it's funny because when Tolu Smith came on the show recently, shout out Tolu, he talked about the bond that he and Daniss have developed, having had that in common of not hearing their name on draft night and just that motivation, going on draft and having that chip. So from your perspective, bro, you were there up close. Did you see a change in him and Daniss once he didn't hear his name called, as far as that chip, as far as that sense of urgency? Like, oh, okay, we're gonna show him again.
Yeah, I think I won't say I saw a change. I won't say I saw a change. I think that's who he is. Like he's always been that type of kid to where, like, okay, you don't believe in me? All right, watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't think I'm good enough? All right, watch this. And pair that, that's kind of how me and him bonded so close, because obviously, again, I'm nowhere putting myself as the player that he is, but I took that route as a player.
Right.
So when we met, we bonded on that, because even as a coach, like I was getting ready to start my player development career and my coaching career, and I was like, you know what? I want to show people I'm a good coach. I want to show people that I can develop an NBA player too. So you pair that with a kid that has a chip on his shoulder, with a coach that has a chip on his shoulder, and that's kind of how we gelled and we bond. So we bond off that. So we love when people count us out and don't believe in us and don't think we good enough. That really does, that really, put a light to our fire. So I think he always had that, but I think when that happened, it was just like, all right, coach, come on, let's go do this one more time. Let's go show them we belong one more time.
Right. And, it's funny you say that, because I see that when he's on the court, bro. Like when he's playing, it doesn't matter who he's playing against. He has that mentality. You see him, knocking down shots and up the court. He's in my man's face. Whoever, he's just that dog mentality. Like, yeah, I'm gonna show you too. You gonna catch this straight. You ain't say nothing, but you gonna catch it. You gonna be the one that that they see I do it to. So I love that mentality. And like you mentioned, it's transferable. Yeah, I'm a musician, so it's like I have the same mindset with what I do. So I feel you on that. Go ahead.
And no, I was just gonna say, and I'll be honest, I as a coach and his coach, like I kind of put the key in his back some too. Like I let him know, like, hey, bro, like they still don't believe in you. People still don't think you're good enough for this league. Like, so I tell them, like, hey, whenever you get these opportunities, whether it's summer league, training camp, summer, whatever it is, like, like don't get too comfortable. Like, it's some people that still don't believe in you. Still, it's some more meat on the bone,
right?
That we got to chew off. So, I try to keep him in perspective as much as I can as well.
For sure, to avoid that complacency. Yeah, for sure. Got to keep growing, 100%, bro. And it's funny, like whenever I watch him go against guys, we talked about it last time, go against guys like Reed Shepard, who was drafted 3rd overall in the same draft, and I'm like, You know what I mean? So once again, the talent is there. That's not even the issue. It's just now the opportunity, and hopefully he's gonna get that next season for sure. I think he's gonna get it.
Yeah,
I want go ahead
we know he's an NBA player. I
for
mean,
sure.
that's we're not fighting that battle. We're just fighting. We're not even fighting the battle. We're just waiting on the opportunity. That's it. Like,
Exactly.
and making sure that we was ready for the opportunity, which he put in the time, he put in the effort.
Yeah.
All summer long. We did 6 a.m. workouts for about 2 weeks straight, maybe 2.5 weeks straight. We did 6 a.m. workouts. So he's put the work in. He's well prepared. You know, now it's just about when his numbers call and he get his opportunities, going in there and trusting his work, like we always talk about.
Trust your work. I'm
That's
gonna
it.
keep saying it. I'm gonna have a whole chat saying it by the end of this pod.
That's it.
Hey, y'all,
That's it.
drop some trust your works, y'all, in the chat for our guy Jeremy.
Trust your work, man.
Trust your work. Absolutely. Listen, we talked about opportunity. I want to shout out Trajan Langdon for giving him an opportunity, right? And recognizing his ability, even though he didn't hear his name called. One thing I think that has worked for Daniss, that's kind of worked in his favor. We talked about it already, but just that familiarity with the team, having the opportunity with the crews to be able to really understand the concepts and the schemes and how things are ran. Because from Summer League year before last to this past, he just, to me, looked way more comfortable and in control of that team, as if he had done it before, because he had, right? It seemed like the first year he played well, but it just looked like the comfortability was he was still trying to understand and get a hold of everything. But this last year, this past Summer League, it seemed like muscle memory to him, just watching him and how intentional he was with what he wanted to do, you know? So I thought that was really worked out in his favor for him. And for me, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I really think as early as next season, he's going to be an impactful player. I really do, because I think he has the ability to kind of do whatever you need him to do. That's just me personally, just from watching him.
Yeah, I don't want to sound too outlandish. It's just my belief in him when I say this, but you know, obviously I talked to him about the role that he's in right now and what's in front of him. But my personal belief in this kid, I think this kid is a 10-year NBA player plus. You know, I think he at some point in his career he starts in the NBA. You know, I think, you know, don't burn me for this, but I think at some point once he gets in the NBA and gets an impactful role, I think one day he could be an all-star at some point. Like I think he's that good. Obviously he has a lot of hurdles to get to before we get to that point. So don't burn me for that.
Nah.
But we know where we at right now, and he's ready for the moment that he's in, and try to make an impact and be ready for his opportunities when they come this season. And all you can do is be where your feet are. When we get to that point, we'll cross that bridge.
100%, man. So shout out to you guys for putting in that work, man. Continuing to do so, staying ready, waiting for the moment and seizing it, which he has done up to this point to get him here. So I want to shout that out for sure, both of you guys, and not just him, because you've been right there with him through a lot of the journey. So shout out to you guys for that, man. Listen, guys, we're going to take. Go ahead, bro. You said what?
No, I said I appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Listen, guys, we're going to take a quick 90-second break, and when we come back, we'll talk some Pistons basketball with Jeremy, and we'll talk about his expectations this coming season. So hang tight. Today, we pulled up to the brand new horse exhibit by Tyrell Winston in downtown Detroit. The atmosphere was great and the experience was amazing. They have plenty of different hoop sizes, so even kids can feel like the Mamba. And on top of that, it's free. So, of course, I had to sneak a few shots up. We started with the tallest basket, and I'm not gonna lie, this one gave me a little trouble. But after a couple attempts, your boy knocked it down. Yeah. This hoop was on a serious angle, didn't matter. Little bounce action with the short hoop, good. Easy money. What is this? Oh, that's good. Little step back, good. Another one, good. So once I made the adjustment, I was able to catch a little rhythm and really start getting to it. Little bag work for the step back midi. Good. Then I took it up a notch and got on a mini heater. Once I saw that one fall, I just started letting it fly. I want to give a major thank you to Decked Out Detroit, powered by Bedrock, for having me. Check out the horse exhibit today. What up, though? Welcome back, everyone. For those who are just joining us, we are joined by SMU assistant coach and NBA player development coach, Jeremy Hart. And now we are going to pivot a little bit to Pistons basketball. So, bro, year before last, right? Historic season, tough time, to be a Pistons fan, tough time for the team. Trajan Langdon and JB Bickerstaff, they arrive. Everything changes. Culture changes. It shifts. The vibes are different. The whole basketball approach is different. And we saw that all after one season, what this team is really capable of. 44 wins last year. Playoff berth for the first time in 17 years, which ended with one of the closest 6-game playoff series I've ever seen. So, and so much so that Karl Anthony Towns, I'm not sure you saw this, bro. Karl Anthony Towns recently said that he basically knew that the Pistons are coming. He gave the Pistons a lot of praise. I'm going to read exactly what he said here. He said, I know Detroit firsthand. Really, really, really good. One of the toughest we played all year last year. And he says they're going to only be better. Ivy's going to be back, and they reloaded with some amazing players. So Cat, he knows what's up. He was in that series, right? He knows that series could have went a lot of different ways, had a lot of different things happen. So from your perspective, just watching that series, what was your reaction to the Pistons' historic turnaround last season, and then how the season ended in the playoffs?
Man, I think the coaching staff and Trajan, they did a great job when they came in. Like you said, shifting the culture and changing everybody's perspective and how they do things on a day-to-day basis, and just a tremendous job from top to bottom. You talk about that series. I can't recall too much. I do recall them losing. Was it game one? It was game one or game two? Whichever one of those games that they lost, I felt like they should have won.
Game one, yeah, that's the one.
I felt like they should have won that game. They gave it away, and I think they just had a couple games in there that they kind of. I felt like a couple games in there that they should have won that they gave away. So, like you said, like that series could have went either way. And that's probably why Karl Anthony Towns said what he said. And I like the group that they got this year.
Absolutely.
I know people kind of think I've heard some basketball talks of people saying that they don't think they're as good as they were last year. But me personally, I like this group. I think this group. I think they're a lot more versatile. They still have shooting. Kate is only going to be better. He's going to be even better than he was last year. So I think who's going to make a big jump is the twin. I think he's going to make another big jump. I think Jalen Durham is going to make another big jump. So I'm excited to watch them dudes, man. I think they're going supersede what they did last year.
Yeah, Jaden Ivey in that conversation too, as far as guys who we saw.
I didn't even throw him in there.
No, it's all good. That's the thing.
Big fan of his. I mean, I think he averaged 16 a game. 16 a game. Then 17 a game last year before he got hurt. Like, man, that kid can play. So they got firepower for sure.
That's the thing. You can go any which direction because all those young guys are gonna get better.
Yeah,
you could pick anyone and the answer is correct. You know what I mean? I think that's the most important thing is that we have all this young talent, and of course, having veterans and having supplemental guys is important to a team, of course. Yeah. But I think the focus for this front office was just, making sure that we grow these young guys the right way so we can really see how high their ceiling can be. And we really didn't get a chance to see that last year. Like you mentioned, taking them 6 games against a very experienced team with guys who had played, a lot of those guys played together since college. With Brunson and Hart and all those guys. So
I'll tell you an X factor. I think he's going to be an X factor. I think Karis LeVert is going to be an X factor on this team.
Bro.
I think he's really talented. I think he has it. I mean, people kind of forget a couple of years ago, like what the type of player that he is and can be. I think he was coached by Bickerstaff before.
Yes.
So like I think he's I think he's gonna be unlocked and unleashed this year as well.
Chat. Chime in. Bro, I literally just talked about this, bro. The last episode, what was that? 2 days ago. I just said, I
I
feel like
missed that, so I didn't say that. I didn't say that because you said it. I didn't see that.
we didn't even talk about it. Yeah, we didn't even talk about this. So that's why I'm happy to hear you say that. Like, I feel like he's the most important offseason acquisition, bro. And for sure, because he's a dual guard.
Yep.
He's a chameleon. He can get in where he fits and he can do whatever you need him to do. If you got foul trouble, if K's in foul trouble, if Jaden, it doesn't matter. He can play on the ball. He can play off the ball, facilitating for others. He literally can do whatever you want him to do. And the thing that sticks out for me is that, like you mentioned it, he's already played for coach.
Yep.
So the learning curve, that grace period, probably ain't going to take as long as it probably could because he already knows what he's walking into.
Yep.
So, I think he's going to be, we talked about last year when we added Malik Beasley to the squad. Nobody thought he was going to do what he did by the end of the season. It was kind of like, oh, okay, cool, we got Bees. That's kind of what I feel. I feel like the same thing's gonna happen with Karras. We're like, oh, okay, we got Karras. Oh yeah, hometown connection, U of M, cool. But by the end of next season, I think we're gonna like, man, he was that guy.
He was hooping.
Yes, 100%. Because he's another one of those guys. He can do. We talked about Daniss being able to do it. He can do whatever. He doesn't really have a glaring weakness in his game. He can do a little bit of everything at a pretty high level.
and he's a big guard.
Yes. 6'6". Yeah.
I think people forgot that dude played point guard at Michigan.
Yes. 100%. Yes.
Played point guard at Michigan.
So we got some big point guards on the squad now, man. That's that's a good thing. So yeah, I really think he's gonna be that guy to really, I think he's gonna win us some games. Mm-hmm. His experience down the stretch of games, I can really see him, doing that for us. So I'm really excited for him, man. I think it's going to be a really big season. I got a couple questions for you. I want to kind of get your take on this and see what you think. So going into next season, the Pistons will be a top blank seed in the East. I stole this from Ashton, by the way. Ashton put this on Twitter. I said, I got to ask Jeremy about this. So do you think they're going to be a top 5 team, 6? What you think? 4? Where you at with it?
I think the Pistons will be. I think the Pistons will be a top 5 seed.
Okay.
I think they'll be a top 5 seed, and I actually would say I think they will be 4. I think they could get up to 4.
Okay. I have them around a 4-3. I got Cleveland and New York at the top as of right now on paper, just because of what we saw last year, right?
And people are high on Orlando, which Orlando is good. Orlando is a good young team.
Yeah.
But I think the Pistons can beat Orlando.
I do too.
I think they can be better than Orlando as well.
I do too. So. It's funny because when Charles was on the show, he said he had Orlando 3 too. He had them 3. So I'm not mad at that. I understand.
I think that can go either way. I think the Pistons could be 3 and they could be 4.
Because the thing is, they have to learn how to play together too. They got Bane. That's a great piece. But they got to get him integrated.
Yeah, they got to put it together. And I think the Pistons have some guys that's been there together. You know, so I can see the Pistons being the highest. I can see them as 3. I can see them being 3 to 5.
Okay, I think that's fair. 2 more for you, and then we'll call it a night. The next season, the Pistons surprise player will be who? We talked about a few guys already. Who do you think that surprise player for this team going in? And this, like I said, it's not really a wrong answer. I like getting different perspectives. So who do you think the biggest surprise player will be? Maybe not for Pistons fans or for those who watch the team, but maybe on the outside, right? Who do you think a surprise player could be for this team?
Man, that's a good question. I want to say Tink so bad.
Real quick. Talk about where that nickname came from. I already know, but from your perspective, can you it's a funny story. Can you kind of talk about where Tink actually, how you got that nickname?
To be honest, I don't even know if I've heard the full story. I just know from the time that we met, like his mom, his family called him Tink, so I called him Tink. So
okay,
they haven't even told me the full story. That's a good question I need to ask on my own.
Y'all go look that up next time we have Jeremy back on, because I want you to tell the story. So next time we have you back on, we'll talk about that for sure.
I will.
But you think he could be a surprise player?
I do, but what I'm gonna go with some guys that's heavy in the rotation. I'm gonna tell you something. Okay. I'm gonna say Jaden Ivey.
That's my guy too. That's who I think too.
I'm gonna say Ivey.
Yeah. the things that he did last year in that 30 game sample, bro, shooting 40% from three, doing a lot of. Go ahead.
He's with him being healthy. I think he's gonna have a big time season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree, bro. I think he's gonna solidify himself as the number 2 next year. I think he was on his way to doing it last year, but I think offensively he's going to solidify himself as that number 2. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him and all these guys. All right, let's get to a few comments. Sarah says, "Yeah, Karras, Coach Hart saying nothing but facts." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. John says, "I agree with what I said about LeVert. He will surprise a lot of people, 100%." Yeah. So y'all know ball a little bit for sure. All right, last one for you, bro. Next season, the Pistons will make it to the blank round of the playoffs. And that's a tough one.
Man,
I know.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. The Pistons will make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I knew I liked you, bro. I knew I liked you, bro. I've been on the same tip. So I said that. Go ahead, elaborate. As far as why you feel that way.
I feel if they draw the right seed in the playoffs, I think they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I do,
bro. I feel like go ahead.
The East is down obviously because of injuries.
Right.
I think it's theirs. I think it's theirs for the taking if they with the right draw, they can do it. They can do it.
I mean, who's to say that if we're being honest, bro? Not saying it's definitive, but a few bounces go our way against the Knicks, we win that series, right? Who's to say we don't beat Boston the same way the Knicks beat Boston? That would have put us in the conference finals last year without having a year under our belt. You know what I'm saying? Without these additions to the squad, guys like Karras, who we have, and these guys getting better, just the young guys getting better. We could have did it last year.
I think other than me saying what seed they get is going to determine that, I also believe that Cade is going to take another jump this year.
Too.
And Cade is going to solidify himself as one of the top 10, top 15 players in the NBA, which I already think he is. So I think he's going to make another jump, and that's going to help the team.
For sure. And hopefully he'll get some more calls. I know you talked about finishing through traffic with Daniss this offseason. He going to need that being a Detroit Piston for sure. Because we don't get no love, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man. So it's cool to see all these guys getting bigger, getting stronger. Like you see Asar, he's gotten stronger. Jaden has gotten bigger. Cade has gotten strong. JD has gotten even bigger and stronger. You know what I mean? So like they gearing up for what's to come in the future. So yeah, man, I'm trying to temper expectations. I've been watching this team a long time, bro. So I done seen all of this. Yeah. And it's starting to do this, you know what I mean? It's cyclical. So it's starting to happen again. So I couldn't be more excited about this team. And Detroit Juice says the way Boston was clanking threes and blowing 20-point leads, I can see. Yeah, it's not out of the question. We couldn't have done it last year. So I'm with Jeremy. I don't think you out on any limb. I don't think you're out on any limb at all. I just think that they're being overlooked once again. Right? Because they didn't win that series, people just say, oh, they lost to a better team. But, you know what I mean? So I think this season they have a lot to prove. You can see guys are really ready to get this season started.
Yeah.
Just by how they're talking, it's like they're kind of tired of talking. It's like, all right, can we go play now? Can we go hoop now? So I love to see that. Anything else on that, bro?
Nah, man, you hit it on the nail.
Listen, bro, this has been great having you on, man. I appreciate your time. Guys, there's going to be an open practice on October 11th at Wayne State. It's a week from today. Doors open at 11 a.m. So you guys make sure you come out and show some support for our guys. It's a free event, so anybody can come and support. Are you going to be at the open practice, Jeremy?
I'm probably not, just because with our schedule, we're starting up as well.
Okay.
So I'm actually trying to find the time of which preseason game I can make it to.
Gotcha.
So I'm in the midst of working that out. So
For sure.
I'll be in Detroit soon, though. I'll be in Detroit soon.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Listen, bro, I was there last year, and you and I hadn't had a chance to meet yet, but I did get officially introduced to Daniss' Bunnies. We talked about this last time you were on, and we talked about it last show. So for anybody who's seeing it for the first time, pay attention to this guy's athleticism. Check this out. Crazy, bro. Shout out, like I mentioned before, shout out to Saz for throwing the picture perfect pass off the side of the backboard. But the 360 catch and finish, bro, off the backboard is ridiculous. That's what, and Tolu was like, listen, I know he had bounce, but I didn't know he had like that. So it's just cool to see that. So you guys make sure you come out, show some support for the free opportunity to come watch these guys play. Make sure you pull up and get a glimpse of what we could be going into next season. So that is all we have for this episode tonight, guys. The Pistons play their first preseason game this Monday.
I kind of lost you on the here.
Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys still hear me in the chat? Let me know if you guys can still hear me in the chat. Want to make sure I didn't lose any sound. You got me now, Jay, or not yet? Can you hear me? You got me or no? Okay, I think we may have lost Jeremy, guys, but I think we're still here. I think we're still here. So, all right, we'll wrap this up, guys. As I mentioned, Jeremy, if you could still hear me, bro, we appreciate you pulling back up, sharing your story with us, and just giving us a preview of what we can expect to see from our guy, Daniss Jenkins, and the Pistons going into next season. We're definitely going to have to link up. Before we get out of here, guys, I want to make sure that I shout out Jeremy. Make sure you guys can go follow him on social media. He's got social media. I think he has Twitter and he also has Instagram. Let's go ahead and pull that up here. So you guys can see he is the assistant coach at SMU. And as you guys see, you can follow him here, Coach Hart, on Instagram and on X. So make sure you guys go follow him, go show him some love, show him some support, and just keep this thing moving forward, man. It's going to be a fun season for all of us. We're really going to enjoy what we watch with our young Pistons team and with guys like Daniss. So yeah, we're going to end it there, guys. Make sure you guys go support him, and make sure you guys are also following myself as well. There'll be links in the description for you to go follow Jeremy. Stay tapped in because the season is almost here and it's going to be a lot of fun. So hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our Pistons content this season. And with that, you guys know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
And when you knock me down, I'm getting back up. Cause when I step on the floor, you know your time's up. I'm on my way up and I'm not gonna stop. We headed straight to the top in the low. I got a basic, I got no time to waste it. Where you